everyone. Welcome back to one of my classes online. This one will be about the interrogative pronoun who. I will explain today the different forms of this pronoun in its form as a subject, object, and in its genitive form. If you are not familiar with how we find the object subject in a sentence, please watch one of my other videos, which are already uploaded on my page. You will see they're about the masculine article, and there you will have all your answers. All your questions answered. So, let's get to this. This is a class, I would say, that is especially for people who are somewhere between sort of the upper beginner level. So let's start. I have written down already some examples. These are examples we're going to have a look at today. And while I'm explaining, I'm going to be writing some comments on the side. In order to see the comments later, you will have to click on the highlighted word. So, for example, like this. So, anyway, let's start. So, the word who is Ποιος, okay? This comes, the word who comes with three different forms in a sentence. When who is a subject, when who is an object, and when who becomes whose. So, let's have a look at who when it's the subject of the sentence, okay? So, the subject, the nominative form, as we call it, is ποιος. So, I'm going to write here a comment, and you see how you find the comments later. You see the word is highlighted, so I'm going to write subject, nominative. Okay? Now, if you put your mouse later on, because I'm going to leave a link to this document later below the video, so you can come back to it whenever you want. So put your cursor, put your mouse on the highlighted word, and the comment will appear automatically. So, ποιος είναι στο τηλέφωνο, who is on the phone. And how do you answer, okay, in this question, because this is the trouble here most of the time, is you answer with a subject, okay? You can say ο ξάδελφος σου, okay? Your cousin, for example. But whatever the answer may be, it has to answer as a subject, okay? Because here you're answering to ποιος, which is a subject, okay? That's the idea. Next example, who lives next door? That who, again, is the person that we're looking for. The person who lives next door is the subject. Who lives? Ποιος, many, lives. Many officially means to stay, but for those that don't know, we use it when someone stays somewhere permanently, we use the verb to stay instead of live. Λοιπόν, ποιος μένει δίπλα, who lives next door, okay? And again, the answer to who is a subject. For example, ποιος μένει δίπλα, ο καθηγητής μου, okay, my professor. Another example, who has Kostas, that's unnecessary, who has Kostas phone number, ποιος we're looking for the person who has it, okay, the subject. So it's ποιος έχει το τηλέφωνο του Κώστα. If you're not familiar with the genitive form of nominative nouns, you can find them on one of the first live videos I've made on my page. It's further down on the list if you scroll down. So let's answer to this question. Ποιος έχει το τηλέφωνο του Κώστα? Who has Kostas' phone number? Ο φίλος του. His friend. Ο φίλος is in the subject. Sorry, it's a subject. It's in the nominative form again. So it answers perfectly. Don't get thrown by his. To comes last in the Greek sentence and just determines the possession, let's say. Okay? Λοιπόν, subject, nominative. Again. Okay, I'm moving on now, okay? We're gonna have a look at the genitive form. In Greek, this is how, at least at school, we learn these different cases as they're called, okay? We learn first the nominative, then we learn the genitive form that has to do with the possessive, the possession and the possessor, and then afterwards we learn about how to find the object in a sentence, okay? The opposite, let's say, of the subject. So let's do it in that order. So, whose, that's much easier here. Ποιανού, masculine, whose, okay? Only masculine. Ποιανού είναι, whose are these keys. Αυτά τα κλειδιά. And we say, we answer again with which form? The genitive form. Yes, necessarily. So we say του γείτονα. Okay? The neighbors. Or literally, we would say of the neighbor. This is, I know this doesn't make sense in English at all, and it's not grammatically correct, but in Greek, word by word, that's how we answer. That tu means of the. Moving on to the next sentence. Whose is this cat? Whose, ποιανού είναι αυτή, this cat, η γάτα. Okay? And we answer by, again, του αφεντικού μου. My bosses. Okay? Or of my boss. Same logic. Next example. Ποιανού, whose, το τηλέφωνο, the phone, is broken. Ποιανού, whose, the phone, is in the device this time. We do have this tendency in Greek when we say τηλέφωνο, but it is always within context, okay? It could either mean the device or the phone number, but you cannot get confused because, as I say, it's always within context. Ποιανού, το τηλέφωνο είναι χαλασμένο. The answer is του πατέρα μου, my father's, or of my father, or to be extremely pedantic, of the father of mine, because since that mu, my, goes in the end, in English is as if we're saying of mine. Now, moving on to who or whom, okay? Ποιον could be who, whom as well. But the way I'm going to use this time, it cannot be translated as whom, for the simple reason, because of the English grammar. Okay, the English grammar commands so. So, ποιον θέλουν στο τηλέφωνο. Now this is the tricky part here. How do we recognize that what we need to use is the object here, not the subject? Okay, who do they want on the phone? Here you need to ask the verb who again. Who wants, they want. So here we know the subject is something we know. We're not asking to find the subject, we're asking to find the object. In this case. So we know who is they. What we need to know is what they, the subject, want. They want someone, who, okay? And when that happens, the who becomes ποιον. Complicated, I'll repeat the phrase, okay? I'll repeat the example. I'm going to answer to this sentence and then I'm going to repeat the theory once more. So, ποιον θέλουν στο τηλέφωνο. So here we have the accusative form, we're having who as object, so we're going to answer with an object, okay? Θέλουν τον συνεργάτη μου. They want my work partner. Okay? Accusative form. The word work partner is in the accusative form. I'm repeating the theory again. Okay? On the next example. Ποιον ψάχνεις? Who are you looking for? Don't get confused with the English syntax, the English grammar rules. Looking for is a phrasal verb. Looking for, all together as a whole, it means ψάχνω in Greek. So, we don't need for in Greek. We don't need γεια. Λοιπόν, so, who's the subject here? We ask the verb who is looking for? You. You are looking for. Εσύ ψάχνεις. Okay? So you is the subject here. So we know who the subject is. Ποιον refers to the object. Who are you looking for? Okay? And in this case, in Greek, you may answer by saying her or him. So if your answer is this, her or he or them, for example, then it's accusative, then it's the object, and you answer with the accusative form. So let's answer to this. Ποιον ψάχνεις? Ψάχνω τον ιδιοκτήτη. I am looking for the owner. Random answer. Okay, but the word owner needs to be in the accusative form. Another example. Για ποιον μαγειρεύεις? Who are you cooking for? Same theory. You're cooking, right? You're the subject. What are you cooking? Or here we don't want a what, we want a who, but it doesn't matter because one is that who, it cannot be many, in this case because the verb is in the singular form. So we have the subject covered, is you. Okay, you are cooking for για ποιον. Okay, so μαγειρεύω για τον θείο μου. I am cooking for my uncle. Okay, so the answer is in the accusative form. That for who, okay, is in the accusative form. Another example, σε ποιον, you can also say. Who to? Σε ποιον στέλνεις λουλούδια? Who are you sending flowers to? Σε ποιον, to who? Again, who's the subject? You are sending what? Flowers to someone else, to whom. We're trying to learn who to, okay? So here you have two objects, doesn't matter. As I said before, in a sentence you can have infinitive number of subject objects, okay? It's a possibility. So, σε ποιον στέλνεις λουλούδια? Στέλνω στον, who shall we say to? Στον or should we say my boyfriend? Okay, στο αγόρι μου. Okay, I'm sending to my boyfriend. Okay, don't get confused here that I used a neuter noun, το αγόρι, which is το αγόρι μου. Okay, my boyfriend, doesn't matter. The word αγόρι is in the accusative form, okay? It's just that with the neuter words, you cannot, there's no difference between when they play the role of the subject and when they play the role of the object is exactly the same. So, I'm gonna leave you this link just below the video, so you can go back to it and have a look whenever you want. If you would like to support my work and watch more thorough videos and watch the plural version of who in all forms and cases, you can go to this page of mine, the Patreon page. I will send you, this is not the link, I don't know why this came up here. Okay, this is the link. I'm gonna leave that link below the video. You can support my work only for $5 per month, and you will have thorough lessons, you will have support, okay, at all times for me on any questions you may have on Greek grammar theory, and my gratefulness, of course. And I'm gonna leave you at that. Thank you all for watching. I will see you on the next video. Γεια σας.